When we think about the history of some of the major forces in the West, on the one hand, we think about religious forces, and particularly idealism, the idea that up in heaven there's the Platonic ideals, or there's God, and our world is a mess, and we need to escape in order to go back to the place of the pure light and the pure ideas. And on the other hand, we have rationalism, which we can look way back, ancient Greeks, even before, and find the idea that we can use our rationality in order to create technologies and to create scientific ideas that give us power over this place. Mystical ideas and mystical languages are a way into understanding what's going on inside of technology, inside of science, inside of ourselves. That spirit of magical operations where you use insight into the occult forces, the hidden forces of the world in order to produce change, in order to make things anew. So the figure Hermes Trismegistus that Pascal mentioned is probably the most important in the West of all of these sort of magical culture heroes, is a reminder that science and technology is never separated. This really draws me a great deal, because we often find ourselves in these, empty hallways, these places that are in between, marked only by this kind of abstract light. And it's sort of a heavenly light in a way. It's a bright, pure light, but it doesn't feel heavenly at all. It's a kind of ominous quality that we feel on the periphery of our vision. Like you're walking late at night in a hallway at an office. It's very alienating. And somewhere there's an in-between place, and the voices come. Electricity is a really important object for my story because on the one hand, electricity is the perfect example of modern science. If you think about the characters and the time when electricity was first captured by human beings, Ben Franklin flying his kite with the key, or the first lightning rods in the late 18th century, that this is the time of the Enlightenment. In the 18th and 19th century, they paid attention to it. And one of the most interesting things about electricity is that before there was a good scientific explanation for it, people did many things with it. Long before people understood in a scientific way, as we would say now, what it was. Before that point, it was a mystery. And in fact, many of the ideas and stories that people told about what this mysterious force was, that had polar sides to it, that could charge objects, and then they were magnetic, that you could generate by rubbing a magnet against a coil, and suddenly you get a flow of electrons. Very bizarre stuff. What I'm encouraging is a way to be open to this more metaphoric and poetic and spiritual way of looking at technologies, not because I think that the spirits are real necessarily, but because I think that it gives you insight into a side of technology that rationality and science and the newspaper view of reality doesn't give you at all.